Hello everybody! Today we are playing Eisendrache, doing explosives only challenge, which is going to be a ton of fun. The weapons we will be allowing will be the upgraded starter pistol, the Hylian Salvo, I think that's the name of it, rocket launcher, as well as the base version of the bow, not the fire, lightning, wolf, or void. So that's going to be what we do. We're going to try to get to a decently high round, get all set up, show we can do it. The early game is going to be incredibly difficult because this fun little pistol in my hands I can't use until we get it pack-a-punched. And even though Eisendrache isn't the biggest map in the world, it is still rather expensive. What I want to do is also like genuinely straight up rush to get the bow as early as I can, because I don't think we're going to be able to get pack-a-punch as early as it, basically. So that's the general idea. I'm not even going to be buying Quick Revive because it was 5. Well, okay, maybe we buy Quick Revive. I don't know. It's a little scary to not, because what if I get like part of the way there and then it's like I gotta take it down, but then I have it, you know? So like, I don't know, maybe we go ahead and buy Quick Revive. But guys, if you're excited for this video, if you're excited for some Black Ops 3 zombies, I mean, look, Black Ops 6 zombies, it's fun. It's a good time, but ain't it just beautiful? Ain't it just beautiful? Don't you got a little bit of a like soft spot in your heart for this? I love it. But I do read each and every single comment, so please leave a comment as well as a like. A like really does help out the video. The YouTube algorithm works in mysterious ways that I don't understand. I don't think anyone understands. It's like more complicated than the Chronorium, man. You know what? It's like if Richtofen wanted to be a YouTuber and read the Chronorium of the algorithm, I think he'd lose his mind, because it doesn't make sense. That's just a fun little joke though. I don't actually care about I care, man, I've put myself in a hole here. I care about likes and comments because it does help out the channel, but talking about actually like playing the algorithm and all that, that's just a joke about the Chronorium driving Richtofen mad because he couldn't deal with the idea of having to basically sacrifice himself. That's kind of the whole thing, right? Is that in all versions of Richtofen, there is an element of self-preservation that is the opposite of the Machiavellian idea, or the, what else would the term be? It's very anti-utilitarian. He looks at the needs of the few, particularly of himself, and by extension Primus, rather than the needs of the many. So rather than saving the universe, he seeks self-preservation, which ends up dooming and damning the universe, putting it into a cycle, etc., which is why eventually he had to just give it to Nikolai, because he knew that he could never be the person to make the sacrifice play. It's kind of like Avengers, guys. You're not the guy to make the sacrifice play, said Captain America. Oh. Hey, I'm just saying, if Captain America had the Chronorium, cycle would have never happened. I don't know. Okay, God, this is the stupidest conversation I've ever had. I guess with myself, not even with you guys, but if I can't say it with a straight face. If Captain America had the Chronorium, would he have done what Richtofen did and try to like self-preservation? Would he have done what Nikolai did, right? Which is basically like the sacrifice of everything in order to save something, which that something would become everything, right? Like there had to be the ultimate sacrifice. Everything had to be destroyed, shut off, and closed off. That way the universe could survive. I don't think Captain America would do that either. Captain America, God, this is the stupidest thing. I'm breaking down saying this. I think he would have tried to find a different play, because in Avengers Endgame, we saw like, well, yes, sacrifices are willing to be made. You have to find the solution that keeps everybody safe. I want to puke. I actually feel uneasy in my stomach after saying all that. This early dragon's going to be a bit of a pain in the butt, because we have the faster zombies and we have the slower ones. I actually want to pull all the zombies out here, I think. How do we have such fast zombies on round 3? This is an older game. We're not supposed to have any aggressive boys, but I want to pull them out here. That way I can get these two. Oh my gosh, we have 4 fast ones? That way I can get the fast ones in there and work on them without being like having the slow ones stop me. I know it's a little tedious and a little slow, but it really does get rather difficult in these early rounds to be able to survive without any tools. And if you don't min-max it to a degree, you're going to fail the challenge. Hey, I'll tell you, not my first attempt here. Not the first attempt, but we're going to make it work. We just need to have the points to open all the doors. I need to be thinking of like what the most efficient way of actually getting to the dragons. Where are the dragons? Let's think about that. So there's one here, then there's one on the other side, and then there's one underground, right? And each one requires, I think, 8 zombies. I think it's a fixed number. I can never remember. That does literally nothing for me, so I'm going to take no risk in actually running into it, because, what, do I need more grenades? We could use the grenades. I don't plan to use the grenades right now. We wouldn't have enough grenades. We are allowed to melee, by the way. I don't think I said that at the beginning, but it'd be a teensy tiny bit silly if we weren't. I really want this one. There we go, just serpentine a little bit through them. While we're doing this, a little bit of a slower process, let's talk about Activision and voice actors, specifically for Samantha and Peck, right? Samantha and Peck are the ones. I saw Mr. Rufflewaffle made a video on it. I saw some posts on the Reddit thread. I haven't seen Mr. Rufflewaffle's video, but knowing, I can't say knowing him as a creator because I don't know him, but I love Mr. Rufflewaffles. I've not watched much of his content recently, but I can't imagine it's changed very much. So I assume it's a high quality video with a decent amount of research put in, so I implore you to go check it out. Always formulate your own opinions, but based on what I know is that, and this is what's happening in a lot of industries, it's not just the gaming industry, Activision isn't solely to blame here, but basically with the increasing power of AI, companies would like to be able to use the likeness of certain voices with AI generation, and a lot of voice actors don't like that because it's their voice, right? It can also put them out of a job, etc., etc. I don't know how the payment system works. I don't know if every time, you know, they use the voice, they have to pay a certain amount, but even then, if you're not like directly signing off on it, and you want to have control over what your voice says, and there's certain things where it's like you want certain of a cadence to your tone, etc., etc. We wasted a zombie, which is tragic, but honestly, I think wasting zombies here is fine with the double points because we need points to open the doors. Both are limiting reagents. The question is, what's a bigger limiting reagent? Difficulty of killing... Oh my god, please. Difficulty of killing zombies, right? Is that going to kill us, or is not being able to open doors going to kill us? I don't know. We'll find out. But I know that with some strikes going on with voice actors... What way am I supposed to go? Through here? That basically the Samantha and Peck voice actor aren't the current voice actors because of that, because Activision is basically making everyone sign a thing saying they can use their likeness in AI, whatever. And it's a little bit of a tough situation. I know I don't have maybe as many details as would be preferred for talking about a situation like this, which is why I, again, implore you to go check out a video where it actually maybe goes into depth on maybe what the contract says. I don't know what the contract says, but I can talk about it from a more, I guess, emotional standpoint, because I think that it's really easy, especially for a lot of like tech and AI bros, to forget that that emotional aspect is a very big part. We're talking about art, right? At the end of the day, this game is art. The voice acting, that is art. That is a human element, right? And it's why a lot of people were kind of upset about some of the laziness with the Black Ops 6 AI, because they're not even using AI as a tool, right? They're not even using it as a tool. They're just using it, and that's it. It's like you throw a screwdriver at a washing machine and just say, fix it. A screwdriver is not going to fix it, right? Like you use the screwdriver, right? That's what a tool is. You utilize that. And that is just not what is happening, basically. I mean, we can see, you know, the zombie had 6 fingers on the calling card for the event, right? And it's these things that kind of show a laziness and kind of take that human feeling out of the game. Whenever this map came out, right, it at the time, you could look at this map and say, man, someone went through and made every decision. This being right here was a decision someone made. This texture here was a texture that somebody created, right? These are all things made by humans, and each part of it someone might have been really passionate about. I think it would be really cool to see a map that millions of people play and know I made that stone texture. That would be really cool. So there's this human element to it that is important to not be forgotten. And alongside that, whenever it comes to your own voice, it's a tough thing for a lot of people to hear their voice being used in ways that they themselves did not use. It's kind of a loss of... I don't know exactly how to word it, right? But it's like you're losing control over a part of yourself. because you are no longer in control of that. Once anyone can use your voice, is it your voice if they can just say whatever they want with it? I cannot believe the dragon did not eat that one. That is crazy. There was a second one? Is that second one what hit me, or did I just get triple slapped really quickly? Oh, I don't love going down here. Probably not going to be able to... I mean, do we have any more doors? We might not even have another door, so we might be safe to go get quick revive? I'm not entirely sure. I definitely want to play it just a little bit slower and safer, though. Honestly, we might go ahead and just run back for quick revive. Is it worth it to run back? Because then I have to run back through all the zombies. We could end up losing some in case I got like a knife on one but didn't fully kill it. I don't know if it's worth it. I think now that all the zombies are spawned, honestly, it should be a lot safer. We'll be in a bit better control of them. We want to kind of keep them separated, I think. We'll have the faster ones. We'll always... How did you get behind me? Were you always there? I don't know. Anyways, back on the answer. So it's tough. A lot of voice actors. I don't think it's an absurd request for people not to want their voice used without their permission, or even then, you know, if you do get permission, you can't control the way the AI delivers the voice lines. The AI could deliver the voice line really crappily, and then a future employer, hears that voice line, thinks it's you who recorded it rather than an AI of your voice, and is like, man, that delivery sucked. I don't want them. And you could say, well, it's on the hirer's part to know, to do the research, right? And I don't disagree with that. That's a beautiful and lovely sentiment. But at the end of the day, it's the voice actor who's getting screwed by not getting hired. You can say, well, because the... how would you word it? Because the hirer, the one with the job, now isn't hiring the best candidate. They are having to get a lower quality candidate. So let's say their profits go from 100 to 70, okay? 100% to 70% because they had to get a worse voice actor. Guess what? There's still profits there. If someone doesn't get the job, their potential profit goes from 100% of what they would have made to 0%. And I don't think it's great that is the kind of unfair dichotomy, right? It's to be fair, it's kind of like YouTube and why things are, unfortunately... Even though I personally think that editing and thumbnail creation is a lot harder to do than just sitting down and recording the video. I think there is skill in trying to be entertaining and somewhat being informed about what you're talking about, etc., etc. While I think these are things, I think that the harder part is that more mechanical stuff. But thumbnail editors and video editors don't get paid a majority of the salary at the end of the day. They don't. It's the content creator themselves, because without the thumbnail creator and the video editor, the content creator still might, instead of making 100% of their profit, still could make 70% of their profit. But the people being hired for that position, if they're not hired, won't get any of the profit. It's just flat out an unfair and unbalanced, I guess, I really think dichotomy is the best word for it. But yeah, so that's my standpoint. I think it sucks what Activision is doing, and I understand why they're on strike, and I hope that no one's of the mindset that, well, they just need to get over it. This is the future, because art is inherently human, I think, right? I think that if art is not human, then what is it, man? You know, art is an expression of the soul, to me. I'll say it. I'll put myself out there. This is embarrassing. A little piece of pathos are. Good old Pathos loves writing poetry. I do. I'm an emotional guy. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I try to be in tune with that part of myself, because I think that in this day and age, it is very easy for young men to be, and this is anyone, but I always feel like young men have a little bit harder in the sense of being able to show your emotions, right? Because it works unfairly for both ways, because if there's a stereotype of a girl crying, it's like, oh, that's just a girl crying, you know, that's that, and guys get told whenever they're young, like, crying is like what girls do. Dude, my parents, okay, here's the crazy thing, I got car sick a lot. I still, to this day, will get car sick in cars. And my parents tried telling me that only, both my mom and my dad tried telling me that only girls got car sick in an effort to make me think that I couldn't get car sick, so I wouldn't, right? Didn't work. I just became extremely insecure. But I think it's easy in this day and age for a young male to feel like they're not allowed to show emotion, which is what I think contributes to a lot of... And this isn't political, I'm not talking about politics, but it just contributes to a lot of apathy in the world, like, and a lot of... utilitarian, where it's like purely you look at it in a numbers sense, right? Oh, this helps 50 people but hurts 25. Well, sounds good enough to me. That's more people getting helped than people getting hurt, right? And it's also kind of, is it Machiavellian? Machiavellian would be the, no, utilitarian is needs of the many over needs of the few, and then Machiavellian is better to be feared than loved, and like strong-handedness, right? Etc., etc. So not quite the same thing, just mixing up terms in my own brain a little. But I think it's easy to lose touch with your emotions and to not put in the work to know how to healthily express them. And poetry helped me a ton with that. I learned I enjoyed writing, and I really enjoyed the art of poetry. And ironically, Jack's Films doing his stupid little haikus in his videos way back when I used to watch were a big part of that. I loved haikus. I started working on haikus, and then I transformed into different types of poetry, working with different rhyme schemes, etc. And being able to express my emotions in a healthy way helped me develop that emotional maturity, I think, to a degree. And I think that for a lot of people who maybe didn't recognize that was something that needed to be actively developed and worked on because of how easy it is to fall into a trap of not working through those emotions, it's easy to just say, well, they just need to get over it, right? So that's what that long-winded rant is about, is understand that there is a level of human emotion in art. This is all art, which is why that people aren't just like, yeah, hey, you can use my voice, feel free, as long as you credit me and pay me. It's not as simple as that. It really isn't. So it's a multifaceted issue, and while I don't know all the details, I always try to kind of work through things in a way that I can understand them, and I hope it's a way that you guys can understand them. I know I'm not always the most concise with how I go over it, but I hope it makes sense and not too many of you guys clicked off the video. Because we're on round 5, we're going to start using these grenades a little bit to help kill the zombies. It won't be the most efficient, but hopefully this dragon doesn't need too many more zombies. We're not going to walk up and melee them, even though it'd be better for points, just because it is too risky to take the down. Yeah, I was like, he'll still eat them even if they blow up. I think if their full body gets disintegrated, he won't eat them. But looks like we're all good on the... What all clear on the western front? Is that what it is? I have no clue. I have no clue. I was thinking, I really want to get into reading some proper history books, man. Northern Lion is such an inspiration in so many ways, because he enjoys like listening to history podcasts and reading. I believe he likes reading history books. I would have so much fun with that. That would genuinely be like such a good time to me. I love reading. I'm such a nerd, man. I don't read enough. My wife, my beautiful, amazing, lovely wife, has been reading so much this year and like had goals set for her reading. It's been like inspiring seeing her do that and go through with it. Because for me, it's hard to dedicate time to basically like just sitting down and reading. Because I have a weird relationship with games where I like games that have a grind to them. So I view that as something that needs to get done. Also, this is why we're viewing this as an explosive. Because of that. And I didn't want to use an overpowered bow because then we wouldn't have any reason to use anything else, basically. We are going to be a little bit strapped on points now because we don't get a ton of points using a wonder weapon, but that's a-okay. Speaking of games that grinding, I enjoy grinding and I view them as... okay, let me finish what I'm talking about with this one point, where basically with my games I view them almost to an extent like a job because I enjoy filling my time with something that I view as productive, and just sitting down doing nothing isn't productive, but it's just a goal-oriented mindset, I think. Not really like a job, it's just I'm very goal-oriented. And it's hard for me to view, like, I guess there's no competitiveness to book reading. Meanwhile, there is a competitiveness to trying to be the best at a game, right? Like trying to be one of the first people to reach max level in World of Warcraft Classic, right? Or this, that, or the other. I like things that kind of display my skill, and I feel like the skill required... It's weird, because I was going to say the skill required for reading is more of a dedication of time, but to be honest, like, WoW Classic is an extraordinarily hard game, or is like old school RuneScape, even Path of Exile to an extent, although we're going to talk about Path of Exile 2 here in a moment. It's more so just the willingness to put in time. And I do think it is impressive if I hopped on a video and said, yeah, boys, I read 20 books this month. Like, that'd be crazy. It's like, what are you reading, bro? Junie B. Jones' Magical Treehouse? There's no way. Anyways, so that's it. I just need to kind of reframe my mindset on that and view reading as a goal I'm working towards achieving, not just as a sit down and relax. Same issue I have with TV shows where I don't watch TV shows anymore because I don't just like sitting down doing nothing. I like working towards my goals, and I think that TV shows, to a degree, just like books, there's some slop out there, right? But there's some truly educational stuff that can help your worldview and your understanding of how things work, and can develop you as a human. God, I sound so cringe, man, but it's my true beliefs on these things. I think that so much of life is about developing yourself, and obviously like gym and health and all that goes into it, but there's also, beyond the physical, there is your emotional development. Anyways, talking about grinding games, let's talk about grinding gear in games, or grinding gear games, Path of Exile. Now, you guys don't need to know anything about Path of Exile, but I'm going to explain what's going on. And again, you don't need to know anything about Path of Exile for this discussion. So, Path of Exile 1 is a game where you are able to go very quickly, kill enemies very quickly, and get your good loot very quickly. The game has been optimized to hell and back, and honestly, if you don't beat the campaign in under a certain many hours, you're called a noob because you don't know the fastest strategy of going through all of it, and these basic like speedrunning metas that have evolved over the years, and it's solved to a degree. Now, of course, there's balance patches that changes this, but it truly is very, very solved. In that game, because it is so solved, bosses you're able to kill almost instantly a lot of the time. I'll never forget my first time using like a lightning arrow build. I went up to a boss that on other builds had taken me like a minute or two to beat, and that's still relatively quick compared to if a brand new player tried doing it. But this lightning arrow build, I literally like blasted the boss so quickly that he wasn't done with one of his animations by the time he died. It was crazy. And that's just kind of the average for PoE 1. Now imagine you're used to that. This dopamine roller coaster you're blasting through. You are just destroying everything in your path, never stopping, super fast, speed, speed, speed. Got my foot on the gas, 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 right? And then someone says, hey, but what if you tried Dark Souls? What if you tried Dark Souls? So, it is a mixture of a lot of things. One, the developer for it straight up said, hey, this game's going to be a lot more like Dark Souls. Literally, we're going for a more Dark Souls feeling. We want bosses to feel impactful. No more of that instantly blasting through their health. No more of any of that. I am getting very concerned about my lack of ammo in this thing. We are trying to work towards Pack-a-Punch, by the way. I've not forgotten the gameplay. I'm just saving up enough for Pack-a-Punch. We're going to head down to the rocket area, have the Pack-a-Punch end up hopefully spawning in the middle area. Ooh, what was that voice crack? If I've not gotten that yet, then if it didn't accidentally move. If it did accidentally move, we'll just Pack-a-Punch over there. But we need about 7,500 points, I think, to get to the rocket area to get the last one and be able to Pack-a-Punch all in one go. So that's what's happening there. Anyways, so the bosses are much harder, but the game is also just much slower. And this is the developer's intention, mind you. The reason that a lot of people might think this is bad if you don't know anything about PoE is like, wow, this is two totally separate games. How do they expect players to go from PoE 1 to 2 if they loved PoE 1 and now it's ending support because the second one came out? Well, that's the thing. You're making an assumption that they're ending support. And I don't blame you for that assumption. A lot of developers do this. Overwatch 2 came out and Overwatch ended support. Whenever a new Call of Duty comes out, the old one stops getting, support. There's no more. Once the last DLC comes out, brother, that's it. Once the new COD game comes out, they shift their focus. This is how the gaming industry works. Whenever GTA 5 came out, they didn't put out anything else for GTA 4. This is just random balance patches aside, right? That's all I'm talking about. But that's how it works. A sequel comes out, and that is the end for the first game. This is not what GGG are doing. GGG standing for Grinding Gear Games, the developer, the developing company, I suppose, behind the... I'm allowed to use my knife. Ooh, arrow is the knife. I forgot about that. So, they are going to be continuing support for PoE 1. Now, a lot of PoE players would tell you, yeah, they say that, but all the resources are going to be diverted. And maybe, okay, I'll say maybe. We only know what has happened and what they have said. So what they have said is that they plan to fully support both, and they're going to offset the leagues. The game works in basically 3-month cycles where they change the game every 3 months, and that is your new league. They reset it, restart, basically a server wipe if you're familiar with other games that do this kind of thing. They said they're going to offset it, so it should be like 1.5 months for one, 1.5 months for another, etc., etc. We're going to go ahead and head down there and see if we get... I have 1 bullet left? Oh my god, I wasn't watching. Okay. Scared. I really don't want to get that. Okay, let me figure out exactly what I was saying so I can put a pause in that and focus more on the game. What was I saying? I'm talking about the... Will GGG be able to properly support 30 points? Okay, hold up. I'm just thinking. Give me a second. I need this zombie not to die whenever I teleport. He's in slow-mo, so he shouldn't. So I can run through. I can teleport. He won't die. I'll need 30 points. I can kill him once we get there or once we get back. Please tell me I pressed the thing at the start. But even that cost money. Ooh, I am not liking what I am seeing. Okay, that seems like it's on. Rocket, please don't start. You. What's going on here? Okay, teleport. So you have to manually click it to teleport. Noted. How much do you cost? 500 as well? Well, I can't stay here. You know, that's not what's happening. So now what's the plan? Start the next round, kill the zombie with melee. Start the next round, get as many zombies as I can together. And then shoot one bullet into them, pack a punch the starting pistol. Hope that one bullet properly kills them. We also have our grenades. We have a few tools to get out, right? So we shouldn't be in too much danger. We also can finish building the zombie shield. Okay, we're going to run around and do some things right quick while keeping the zombie alive while I talk about continuing the grinding gear game stuff. So basically, they're going to be continuing to provide support for the game, all this fun stuff. That's what they've said. However, while they were getting the game out for early access, basically all hands were on board for PoE 2. So now that it's out in early access, the question is, are they going to keep all hands on board? And PoE 1 is basically going to temporarily or permanently go on life support. Or are they truly going to cause a split? Or also, what I think might happen is if the PoE 1 players end up winning this internal civil war that's going on between the two fan bases, if the PoE 1 players win, PoE 2 might just get less support. There might just be more hands on deck on PoE 1. It's not, you know, the rarest anomaly in the world for a game successor to not be as successful as the predecessor, and the predecessor ends up being more popular, right? We've seen this a few times. I'm trying to think. There's one really good example of this where basically the new game did so poorly, they just said, back to the old one. And I'm struggling to remember the name of it off the top. But this could go any direction. We really don't know. We can dream and say, man, I hope PoE 1 continues getting all of the support. That way PoE 1 players have nothing to complain about. People who like the slower pace of PoE 2 enjoy that. Now, some people say that the reason PoE 2 is doing that isn't because it's too difficult, but rather... Did I grab the shield? Yeah, I grabbed the shield. But rather it's too tedious, and that's bad gameplay design. And I hear you, and I'm personally trying to figure out, is tediousness bad gameplay design? Sometimes maybe, sometimes it isn't. What is gameplay design? Is good gameplay design making a game the consumer likes? Look, I'll say it. Classic WoW and Old School RuneScape are both very tedious games, ones that I enjoy thoroughly. I think they're beautifully designed games. I think the tediousness is enjoyable. I think some people hate those games. I have a buddy who loves Old School RuneScape and hates Classic WoW. Thinks Classic WoW is one of the worst games to exist. Loves WoW retail, hates how slow and tedious Classic WoW is. And if I ask him, he will say it is designed poorly. It has bad gameplay design. And I think gameplay design has become kind of this unicorn term of meaning whatever we want it to mean. And I don't even know if we can say what is or what isn't good gameplay design. Is it just the consumer enjoying the game? I don't know. It's tough. But you're going to hear a lot of arguments, and then you're going to hear those arguments being stifled by people saying skill dift, or just get good, or sorry that your ADHD brain, because you're going to hear a lot of ad hominem arguments of just people attacking the person, and it's going to go in so many directions, and it's going to be really hard to tell what's going on if you care at all about what's going on in that scene. At the end of the day, my best suggestion is just play which one you enjoy, and the devs will figure out the rest. A lot of people are mad because they put out 3 nerfs to pretty crazy builds so far. However, I don't think this is going to be a very big issue. I think whenever there's clear, blatant outliers, you have to get those addressed, and I think they're prepping for a patch buffing some stuff. If any of you guys in the comments care, I can already see a few comments come like, the game wouldn't be so bad if it had more loot or whatever. But you have to remember that the game went through 3 pretty massive closed beta tests, got almost all the same feedback they're getting now, just in a smaller degree, and it hasn't changed. But also, during Arch Nemesis, which was one of the leagues I talked about earlier, they made the game way harder, like stupidly hard. Players didn't enjoy this. The developers straight up said, we can tank the player hit, and they ended up reversing that decision because turns out they couldn't tank the player hit. Maybe they could, but their owners, big old Tencent, couldn't. I don't know exactly how it all works. All we know is what we have seen. So, I hate having to cop out the answer, right? Because it's like, oh, what's going to happen? I don't know. But sometimes it's just, I don't know. Here's what's going on. Hey, that's what the news should be, right? They shouldn't be just making conclusions. They should just present the information to you. Not political. We're down politics. Not talking about politics ever again. But yeah, I think that the stuff with GGG and PoE2 will be very fun to watch. Even if you're not interested in it, seeing a community go into Civil War, honestly, it's always a good time. It really is. It's fun. What I want to do now in this game is I want to save up. We're gonna get some perks, I think. I think we will end up getting... Man, it's tough because I don't really want Widow's Wine. I really don't want Widow's Wine, actually, because if we get Widow's Wine, what's going to happen is the zombie's going to hit us, get stuck, we're going to getting trapped, I'm going to have to shoot at my feet, and we don't have explosive immunity. Also, thoughts on Death Machine now that we have this? I think it's okay. I'm just going to say it. Earlier we didn't use it, we hadn't had proper explosive weapons, but now, I'm going to allow it purely to end a little bit of the tediousness of the challenge and getting points and everything. It's a little bit easier for points, it helps me save a little bit of ammo, you can say it diminishes the fun of the challenge, but look, it's a drop. It's okay. We got set up to a degree. We're not fully set up, mind you, but I do think we would be able to as long as we properly conserved ammo. And at the end of the day, I'm yapping, so I'm going to be shooting my gun. Here's what happened with the boat. I said, ooh, I need to watch my ammo. Started talking again, stopped paying attention to the game. You're here already? Thank God we had the death machine for him. It's fine. The pistol still destroyed him, but I thought he came on like round 14. I feel like round 12 is a really early Panzer. I'm also considering allowing the Ragnarok for this. Ragnaros is in WoW. My bad. Just because I think it'd be fun, and I want challenges to be fun as well for me at the end of the day, because I think whenever I'm having fun, it's more fun for you guys. There's a time for insanely hard challenges, and I feel like the beginning of this one was properly quite difficult. Like I said, this wasn't my first attempt. Maybe I made it look a little too easy, and if I did, I'm sorry. Maybe we rambled about too many different things. I try to present like the grinding gear game stuff in a way that people who've never played it can understand it. All you know is the first game was very fast, the second one is very slow. People are upset about it, but you have to understand the game is an ending. I understand the fears of the game might go on life support and not get proper support and they're not going to care about it anymore, but at some point you have to trust people, and whenever they betray that trust, that's one thing. But they've been relatively transparent so far and saying, you know, with early access, all hands are on board, etc., etc. But yeah, I've been doing some work on making sure I have more thought out video topics. Not more thought out, but like I have a little thing here called talking points, and I have, you know, the Activision voice actor stuff, and I have Path of Exile 2. Not like that, and that's it. I have this is what says talking points: Activision voice actor AI, Salmon Peck. Path of Exile 2, difficulty versus tedious. Just so I know what points I wanted to bring up in relationship to it. Because I constantly am thinking of things while I'm just sitting down that I want to talk in videos, and because I get distracted about one thing, I end up forgetting. And I always think videos are good whenever I have things I want to talk about. And I also enjoy rambling about the game and just rambling about things that come into my mind. And it should always be a mixture of both. But I always hate whenever I don't know what to talk about. There have always been a few times in videos where I'm just like, yeah, I don't know what to talk about, guys. What are you up to? You know what I mean? Oh man. I was like, I have some, I'm really enjoying being able to kind of swap back and forth between the older games and Black Ops 6. I have some banger Black Ops 6 ideas I have coming up. For challenges. I'm still trying to find my sweet spot with Black Ops 6 challenges. I know, like, generally how I like to do challenges in these older games, but I'm not super sure how I'm comfortable doing Black Ops 6 ones yet. The videos don't do very well on Black Ops 6, but I'm going to say it's not because people don't want to watch it. I'm just going to say it's because I'm not figuring out a good way to present it, and I'm hoping I get better at that. Because if we don't take accountability, here, I'll talk about this with skill-based damage. People just don't like taking accountability. And sometimes you have to take accountability for sucking at something. And I think I'm sucking when making Black Ops 6 content at the end of the day. I'm getting a little bit worried about ammo. I won't lie. We had 12,000 points. Should we start hitting the box? What do I get rid of? Oh, am I going to have to slow box hit? Or we could go get Mule Kick. Yeah, we can go get Mule Kick. I have an extra perk slot. Yeah, let's go get Mule Kick right quick. Where is Mule Kick on this map? It's down here, right? I don't want to open that, so we're actually going to loop around. I have the zombie shield around half health. We've not got a max ammo in a while. We should be due. We've seen Death Machine and double points, I know. So at the minimum, it should be Carpenter Nuke max ammo, right? I think we also saw Tram Fuse really recently, so something along those lines. But we should be doing max ammo. It's also been a while since we had a Hellhound round, so I'm not insanely worried. But I would like to get Mule Kick just so I can try to get the rocket launcher. I think if we have the rocket launcher, the pistols, and The bow, we're not going to have like any issues at all. And the reason why I'm going through this long way, although I guess I could have gone underground and across, is purely I don't want to open up that one door that will make training in the area I like training a bit harder. That's all it comes down to. It's a bit more of a journey, but hey, you know, sometimes, hey, not all who wander are lost, although admittedly, I do get lost a lot. I won't lie. I'd love a challenge, maybe, oh man, I actually just thought of the idea. All right, I'm going to say it now, so if anyone does this, you guys know. I can link this and say, hey, you took, nah, I wouldn't do that. I would hope a viewer does it maybe, but I wouldn't. I like all the ZTubers, man. I don't want to cause drama. They want. I had, you know, the smallest of issues in the past with, you know, stuff, but I like to think that that's all in the past, and I hope no one has a grudge against Olapathos. You know, I've not really done collabs with any of them, but I hope that if they're aware of me, they don't have negative thoughts. I hope not. I like all of them. I like all of them. I'll say it. I like Noah. I like Lex. I like Milo, Mr. Awful Waffles. I like any of them that aren't, like, that haven't done crimes. And if any of the three I've said have done crimes, then Monka W, any of the ones. I know that drama is one thing, crimes is another, and all I'm going to say, I'm not well enough informed on anything, so I'm just going to say that I have no issues with anyone. Maybe I shouldn't have said names. I don't know. I know there's drama, but I don't want drama. I don't like any of that. Anyways, that's just a small little thing there. I don't know. Olapathos don't want drama. As simple as that. I was telling one of my buddies was watching a video, and he was like, "Why do you keep referring to yourself in third person as Apothos?" And I was like, "You know what? I couldn't tell you. It's just something I do. It's just how I talk." So yeah, I understand it might be a little off-putting and jarring, but that's okay. Anyways, the challenge idea is like maybe like an elemental theme challenge, where the challenge is getting all, like on Origins it'd be all 4 staves. On this map it'd be getting all of the bows. You'll see me fail the challenge. Boom, just failed the challenge. Ooh, oh no! But I think it'd be a really fun challenge is, can I get all in one map? Now maybe there's some maps where you can't, but I think that might be fun on the Citadelle map. Trying to get all the swords. I've actually not even used the swords yet, and I really want to, but I have a different challenge I want to do on that map first. Also, this is the Tuesday video. I said next video will be on Tuesday. It's on Tuesday. I will absolutely never, this is my hard rule, I've done so many times, I will never say a schedule on the video again, because I end up not recording because I feel so bad I missed the schedule. I will never say a schedule on video. I might say a video is coming out on a certain day, but I will never say a schedule again, no matter how much I want to, because like I have the, I have the concept of the idea of a schedule in my head right now, and more than anything I want to share with you guys, but I'm not, because I'm so, at the end of the day, I'm just bad at sticking to the schedule. So yeah, simple as that. I kind of went in a weird way here that is not getting me to the box, which I would like to be at. We're not getting lucky in hitting what we need to hit either. Oh, it's right here. Which is ever so slightly unfortunate, and I really would love to get the rocket launcher. Considering it's like, I feel like whenever I don't want it, I get it a lot, you know what I mean? Although we just get like the SVG and the Shiva, which are both pretty terrible. I remember using the SVG on a Sniper's Only challenge on this map, I think, not too long ago, and it sucked. Oh my gosh, the 48 Dredge. I was playing Overwatch 2, and so Juno came out not too long ago, and her pistol is like a 12-round burst, and my buddy told me that, and I was like, you don't know this, but I have a history with a particular 6-round burst gun in Black Ops 3 that I hate. Every time I would get that gun in an old video, I would go on a rant about how much I hate that gun. Dude, we have gotten some banger guns out of the box. It is a shame we cannot use any of them. Do you think I can just melee this guy down? I think there's a decent chance I'll be able to. What other perk would we want? Double tap doesn't work for the double damage. It does increase fire rate, but I don't want that because ADHD brain go burr, and I will end up shooting too much and wasting ammo. Oh man, I wish I was smarter, and in these challenges I am supposed to grab gobble gums that give me ammo, because it's not fun running out of ammo because it just ends your challenge. I am supposed to do that, and admittedly I forgot, which sucks. It's okay, but it does suck. I don't think any of the guns, whenever pack a punch other than this pistol in particular, end up becoming explosive. So once we run out of ammo on this, we have grenades. Oh, I think trip mines and claymores are on this map. Okay, we can try those as well. Yeah. Okay, we're not entirely out of options, but I am supposed to take, like, alchemist. I don't even remember what it's called. Oh, no. What is it called? Alchemical. No, I don't like this. alchemical. Oh, this is sad. This is a sad moment for me. I cannot believe I'm blanking on what the one that turns points into bullets is. There's the max ammo one, which admittedly I don't feel like I've ever actually paid attention to them on that, but the alchemical, it's alchemical something, I know it is. Oh my god, that was so much self-damage there. Holy, I'm not even looking at the zombies. I need this shield to protect my life right now. Oh man, that did kill a lot of them though, eh? Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Probably gonna go to like round 20. How far are we? 40 minutes in! That's okay. I hope the mic works, sounds good. It might sound a little bit iffy, but I've had this issue where with my new, now old microphone settings, there were just some pops that were rather annoying because it was directly in front of my face. So I turned up the gain a little bit. That way I wouldn't have to have it as close to my face, but still relatively close. Which might result in a little bit more like mouse noise. This is tough. Okay. Are you the rest of my zombies? I think so. Man, we have gotten, I feel like, every drop except for the one we want. Man, I swore that we were like due a max ammo soon, but we are so... I mean, the next one has to be max ammo. I'm pretty sure we've cycled through every... How did we get double point without max ammo? Did a max ammo drop and I missed it? That had to have happened, right? How did we get double point before max ammo? That's not how it works. Some of you guys are like, what is he talking about? But no, so the way it works, the same way as the Gobblegum cycle works, where you have to cycle through all of them before it can loop. I shouldn't have been able to loop double points. There had to have been a max ammo that dropped that I didn't notice. That blows, but at least we know now we should be doing another... Where's the Hellhound rounds? I feel like we've not gotten a Hellhound round in forever. What's going on? Next round has to be a Hellhound round. How do I kill the Hellhounds is going to be the question. I think the Zombie Shield is the answer to that question. Because we can get through this zombie round. We do have enough ammo to get through this. But the Hellhound round is actually where the scary part is if we don't have enough ammo. But I think the Zombie Shield will be able to help. Now, of course, you might have just heard my Zombie Shield break, but that's a-okay, because in this game, we can refill it for free. Apothos, what game can you not refill it for free? That would be Black Ops 4, little Timmy. That'd be Black Ops 4, where it costs money, and potentially... No, it wasn't even in Cold War. I was going to say potentially Cold War, but I think it was only Black Ops 4. I wish we had the Zombie Shield in Black Ops 6. I take it back. I remember. I know, I just don't like it. But Jug does have a version that makes it into the Zombie Shield. But honestly, the zombies, in my opinion, are a bit aggressive, and it's way better to just take the one that makes the zombies do like 12 damage to you. That'd be my thoughts on the matter, because, man, those zombies do just slap you. I'm trying to think of a funny way to phrase it, but I really can't. Then we're going to get Speed Cola, by the way. I was talking about what perk I wanted earlier, and I think Speed Cola is going to be the one we lock in here. I think it's just overall going to be the best option. And we're actually going to go ahead and run across the map to the box now, even with this many zombies, because I think that several of them, I mean, we saw the crawlers, but I think several of them have been damaged by explosive damage, meaning they won't respawn. I'm a little worried all of them have, but I'm just going to hope they haven't while we keep hitting the box for Yod Helion Salvo, which I know is supposed to be, like, really good as well, if I'm not incorrect. It should be really good, and we should be able to destroy panzers with it. And once we get that, we're basically set up. Normally, the video back in the old days would have been around round 15, but I want to go to round 20, I think. The reason why we don't go past that, by the way, in case you're curious, is once we have the Helion Salvo upgraded, I mean, we are set up. It is going to be hard for us to lose at that point onwards, basically. Man, I really would have loved to be able to kill these zombies before all of them merged. Maybe if I shoot right there? Yeah, I don't think all three of those got damaged. Surely not. I'm pretty sure I aimed it to where only the first ones did. I hope so. Alright, Box, where you be going? Where, oh where, dearest Box, shalt I fly to? I really think this challenge would be so much fun on Ground Kirby. Revelations, man, I love Revelations. I love Black Ops 4. Oh, man, I wish I had infinite energy. If I had infinite energy and didn't have ADHD, my dream, and this is not me talking about my schedule, it's just me saying what my dream is. I'd love to have a video out every day. But also, thumbnails are... can be exhausting, because someone's like, I'll make a thumbnail, spend, you know, a good chunk of time on it, maybe an hour or so, and you're like, only an hour, but so right, recording takes an hour, and that's pretty draining, talking for an hour straight. Video editing doesn't take too long. And I'm not saying it's as hard as a normal job, I'm just giving you like a perspective here, right? Then you have to come up with the concept of the thumbnail, right? So the actual, man, I don't have many points, I thought I had more. The actual, like, making of the thumbnail isn't too bad, but you run through different concepts and you have to make the idea of it, right? And that ends up taking a lot of time that you really can't calculate, because I try to, whenever I make the idea, I try to start thinking about the thumbnail then, so it's like kind of, I'm passively thinking through it. But so I spend an hour on that thumbnail, I upload the video, right? And then if that thumbnail ends up not doing well, then I want to try to make it do better, because my whole idea is I want more viewers so that more people can enjoy it if they enjoy it. I think that there's not a ton of this style of content out there anymore, and I think it's getting better. I think there's a lot of amazing Call of Duty zombie YouTubers who now have been doing a lot of gameplay stuff, and it's really good and really awesome if you like this unedited style of gameplay, basically. But what am I saying? I lost my train of thought. The ADHD is kicking in, boys. Oh yeah, whenever I upload a video, if it does well, I want to make it try to do better, so that if anyone likes it, because seriously, let's say someone likes it, okay? This is because it always sounds like, oh, he just wants more views for more money, and sure, whatever, you can think that. But at the end of the day, if people, my regular viewers, don't like a video, the algorithm will see that they click off, or they didn't like the video, or they didn't comment on the video, received less engagement, and it won't push it out to people who, if they got it recommended to them and decided to click on it, would have enjoyed it. Because at the end of the day, all of you guys got recommended a video of mine who are watching it at some point, and some of you guys end up saying like, hey, I really like that. And other people like you might never get a video, might never end up seeing that first video if I don't put in the work to try to make it perform well at the end of the day, right? I like to think that for some of you guys, you genuinely enjoy watching me and it makes your day better. And I've received comments, I received emails about this, and it is a beautiful thing. But that won't happen if I don't put in my part to try to make the video perform well, right? And that's genuinely my mindset to it. You can phrase that however you want. You can say I just care about it for the money. I don't. If I care about it for the money, this channel would be long dead and gone, and I'd be working on other stuff, to be frank. This channel stopped making me good money back in 2022, okay? The only reason I still upload is because I love you guys, and I try to fight through a mental battle, because I struggle with depression and stuff. I've talked about it. That's why I struggle with schedules. My ADHD cripples me a lot of the time, and it sucks and it blows, but I genuinely like trying to make people's lives better, and that's what I want my purpose in this world to be. Simple enough. So what I was talking about with the thumbnails is if a video does poorly, I'll go through and I'll try to like quickly make another thumbnail, and I'll go through like 7 iterations of a thumbnail, and that's pretty dang draining. So I got to make sure I have like time for that and everything. If you've ever seen a video of mine go up, if it does poorly, I'll end up changing the title several times. I'll end up changing the thumbnail several times, basically. And that's just, again, because I want people who might enjoy the video to have access to it. And if you guys are the only ones who are interested in it, that's fine. But I'm not doing my part if I don't try to make it more appealing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But we can phrase things however we want to. At the end of the day, you can just say that that's just me, you know, making it seem better than it is, and that's fine. That's fine, because at the end of the day, that's not the gun I meant to use. I meant to pull out the bow. Whoopsie doopsie. I don't know what's actually better for killing ye old Panzer here. I'll be entirely honest. Did he die? I didn't get the thing saying Panzer Soldat killed. No, he didn't die. Now, the good thing is he doesn't have a hook. Man, this seems to like cause like stun damage to him. Ooh. Scary, scary. Trying to focus on the Panzer while dealing with the zombies is never a particularly fun time. There we go. Alright, Panzer down. I still want to get this Helion salvo, but if we don't get it by 20, we just might not end up... No, I really want to... We're going to go at least until we get it. I mean, how do I do this? You know what? Maybe not. We got a good video. It's going in the thumbnail. I'll tell you that right now. I hate putting dual-wield guns in the thumbnail sometimes, and because it can be a bit of a hassle. So, in a hassle, meaning it's hard to, like... I have an idea of how I like thumbnails looking in my head, and dual-wield guns are always hard to fit into that. Sometimes I would make it work, sometimes I'm not. It's more of a hassle than it's worth, and I want the Helion salvo on the thumbnail, okay? That's how it is. I want the Helion salvo on the thumbnail. If we can get it, great. At the end of the day, the version in the thumbnail is not even going to be from the video because of the way I do my thumbnails, but it's fine. Know that an effort was made and attempted. Oh, I'm getting low in ammo in that. That is not the gun. I'm sorry. I keep thinking that the next gun I have is the Wrath of Ancients, and it's not. It's the Argus is there. I'm thinking about the end of round 19. We'll go hit the box somewhere. I was gonna say I hate the box being there, but it's actually not too bad because it's not in the rocket area, right? It is a bit of a tight area to train through, but not too much of an issue. Not too much of an issue at all. Do you guys see the CEO guy? I think people are calling, what are they calling him? There was a really funny name I saw, and it was like an insurance-based name. I don't know. But anyways, not saying anything on the morality of what he did, although I think most people are on the same page on that. But I mean, look, I'm not saying it is killing is bad, but no one's, you know, hating on. I was gonna say no one's hating on the guy who killed Hitler, but I guess that was Hitler, and a lot of people were hating on him. I shouldn't. YouTube, look, I'm saying it in a historical sense, please. Please, chill. But, like, regardless of that, apparently he was caught at McDonald's just a little bit before I started recording this video. I'm recording this on a Monday, and hoping it goes up on Tuesday. So, we'll see how that much ends up panning out. They have a name and everything. I've seen some conspiracy theories already. And conspiracy theory isn't a derogatory term. Don't let it say that it's not true. It's just these are literally, by definition, conspiracy theories. They might end up being true. They might not end up being true. Who knows? But that this guy isn't actually the one who did it, and that the government's just hiding it, which I don't know. Maybe. I could see it being the case. I do know it's crazy how many healthcare CEOs have delisted their, you know, like, stuff on their websites. Yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff on different platforms that I really cannot repeat. I think it's interesting, the attitude, the tonal shift regarding some things, and the response of where's the equivalent of this guy for this guy. Again, I'm not saying names or anything like that, because vigilantism is, you know, a thing in and of itself. Ideally, we have a world where laws prohibit, you know, and protect people, and prohibit, you know, the, what would you even call it? The death of the many for the profits of the few. Ideally, we have a system that prevents that, and maybe that system is failing, and then is there an argument to be made for the case of vigilantism? I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not a research scientist, you know. I can attack it from here's the thing, right? Whenever you start getting into the emotions, you can emotionally justify a lot of heinous stuff, okay? You really can. You know, hey, eat the rich. Sorry, Ludwig, this means you, okay? I don't know what to say. How much more zombies do I have? You're not the gun I want. I think I can circle these guys. Maybe take down these guys just a little bit. I know I had a few more. I need to be careful about the splash damage. Don't forget, the splash damage can really ruin our days here. It's tough. It is a tough thing to kind of figure out who's been damaged here and who hasn't, because I really want to... we still have spawning? Okay, if we still have spawning, I want to... That's not the Mustang in... Oh my god! I'm trying so hard to pull out the correct gun. Now, I need to find a zombie far away who's running. We're not going to be able to. There's no more zombies spawning. Maybe these guys. Maybe these guys are the chosen ones. Okay. Come on, everybody. We're gonna go over to the mystery box and see if we can finally get this Helion Salvo. If we don't get it by the end of this round, this will be the end of the video. I'll do an outro after that. Look at the screen. Look at the distortion effect in the corner. Very cool. Reminds me of like whenever you're freezing in a map and it has like that snowflake kind of effect. Liberal snowflakes. I want to eliminate zombies as they spawn here so I don't damage ones that don't need to be damaged. Okay, we have two. I think one of them is missing an arm. It's the end of the challenge anyways. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Okay, trip mine. That's something. I don't even know what button that is. Oh. Alright. Well, here's hoping the round doesn't end from those two. We still got people? Yeah, we still got two. Man, trip mines must not have a very big AoE like the Claymores in Black Ops 2 do, huh? The game really does not want to give me this gun. It really doesn't. I mean, you know what would be fun? I want to do a challenge where my gun is just permanently swapping. Not like the Mystery Box Roulette challenge, although I do think that'd actually be fun in Black Ops 6. But I want to do a challenge where my gun genuinely just swaps every 20 seconds. I would love a mod that does that. If any of you guys know a mod that does that, please let me know. That'd be so much fun. I really, if the channel does pop off again and I end up getting a little bit of money where I can like hire a mod creator, I have some mods that I've planned out that I think are very possible. You know, that's something you always have to think about. You can have the most extravagant ideas, but if it's not possible to implement in the game, there's nothing you can do. But I have some ideas that I do think would work for mods, and I think would make really fun videos, and then the community as well could use those. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I'm hoping that once I have, if the channel ever does end up doing better, I'll be able to invest in that. Because I think it'd be a good investment. I think it'd be a lot of fun for everybody who still ends up enjoying playing these old games and everything. You know what I mean? One of them is like, I want... What is one of them? I want a mod that will randomly change my in-game sensitivity. I think that would be really fun. I just want mods that are able to randomly change certain settings, and I'm pretty sure it's possible. And honestly, if I had a way to where I could make a code that would do inputs for me really, really quickly, like could press tilde, then enter in like, you know, /sense equals variable between this and this digit, right? I think that'd be possible, but I don't know how to do that. Computer science is what made me end up dropping out. You know, I was in religion and philosophy, then poli-sci. I was in my final semester of poli-sci. I said, this isn't what I want to do. Let's try computer science. When a computer science had the worst professor I've ever had, and I was like, all right, what if we tried YouTube? Funny enough, my favorite class last semester was actually anthropology, which is like the study of human history and everything, which I found very interesting. I think the development of human culture and everything is so incredibly interesting. I'm such a nerd for some things. I've been reading on Wikipedia non-stop recently about different wars, different things that happen, like, and how quickly we forget things, or how recent certain things were developed. We didn't know like what viruses were until a little over 100 years ago, which is, where is this box? Is it in Spawn? We can end up opening this. It's insane how we just genuinely didn't know what viruses were until like 1896 or something. America has been around longer than that. I think half of Americans still might not know what a virus is. And we just have theories about how they came to be. Like, there's the escape theory, which is it was like RNA that ended up being able to traverse between cells, and there's a theory that it was like a life form that devolved, and basically is like a type of parasitism right here. As a type of parasitism, aka content creators who end up having a reliance on a host but degrade the host's DNA, right? Viruses are so interesting to me because I feel so stupid that I can't understand how they share traits of life but are not alive. My brain doesn't understand the gray area between alive and not alive. Like, we know a rock isn't alive, but we know algae on the rock is alive. The rock cannot freely move. The algae can move in the sense of growing, right? And if a rock grows or shrinks, that's because of external factors. There's nothing like internal really going on there. But viruses can move freely, but they're not alive. And they can impact. I don't get it. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense and we just don't know how they came to be. We don't. I mean, admittedly, we don't know how we came to be in the first place either. But I mean, like, we have answers, but we can't get a lot of people to agree on any particular one. Answers in the sense of we have idea. We don't know, right? Like, we can't. Here's the thing. If you are religious, I think that the element of faith is an important thing, and there would be no need for faith if there was definitive proof, right? So, by definition, you can't know beyond faith. Guys, with that said, sorry we didn't get the Helion Salvo. I tried, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help the channel a ton. But yeah, have a good one, everybody, and take it easy.